What's going on, everybody? It's WebsterStyle. Be Sapph here for another edition of the NRW Checkpoint. Brian, how you doing today, man?
I am doing okay.
Okay, all right. Look, you could be doing horrible, so I will take okay. Well, Brian, we have a short week because really there's only one game that came out that most people are talking about. But I will, before we get to that, did you get a chance to see any of the trailers for Summer Game Fest today?
So I was actually watching those before we started recording. The only trailers I've gotten to see so far is the Prince of Persia game, which is ironic because we just talked about that last episode.
That looks nice.
It does. And what I was getting ready to watch. What game is getting ready to come out that they were like, I seen where they had a conversation about Spider-Man 2, and then they announced the release date, October 20th. Yeah.
Okay.
I'm just getting into it, though. I haven't got much going on.
Watch the Mortal Kombat.
That's the one I'm got up next because I really want to
watch
see
that.
The gameplay for this.
I enjoyed what I saw. Like, I was actually out and I came back and just caught a couple things. So I haven't run through all the trailers yet, but I was impressed by the Prince of Persia. I'm like, okay, at 2.5D, I'm like, that's a perfect way, in my opinion, to reintroduce the series. Since I don't think we've had a new Prince of Persia game since the 360 PS3 era, if I remember correctly.
It's been a while.
Yeah.
If I'm not mistaken, never mind. They had a Game Boy Prince of Persia, but I was gonna say one thing we've ever had one on Nintendo hardware, but that's not true. Either way, it wasn't what I was expecting, but I was pleasantly surprised at the same time.
You know what? I was fine with that because everybody wants this remake of Sands of Time and with all the remake craze.
Right.
I'm happy they did this because it's something new, but also it makes it very accessible to a wider audience. I think sometimes when you have these remakes, especially with the game mechanics, some people, especially say younger audiences, and not saying because they know what they're doing half the time. That 2.5D, I think it'll be a really good way of getting more people exposed to the franchise who really know nothing of it. Because you're talking about the 360 PS3 era. Now, again, I may be wrong in that, but I know it's been at least 10 years since we've had a new Prince of Persia game.
Yeah, I feel like that's accurate. I don't recall seeing anything because I would have, like, Ubisoft. This is one of the companies that I follow, like, because I like their games. They pretty much make games that I appreciate. If a new Prince of Persia was coming out, I probably would have played it.
Yeah, so a 15-year-old probably has never played a Prince of Persia game before,
right? But they most likely have played Assassin's Creed, which, if we want to be like mechanically technical, this is the predecessor, or the successor of Assassin's Creed. Because you remember, like, Prince of Persia, that's where we first started seeing the wall running and stuff like that. Right. Yeah. And that time thing with the Sands of Time, him being able to, like, go back in time or speed up time, there was a bunch of different things he could do with that. And I think that's kind of what kicked off the whole wave with Assassin's Creed. Either way, that's what I was kind of aiming for. Remember, we talked about this last episode. I wanted it to be a little bit more like, because I'm looking at the trailer for this, I'm like, oh man, if this was like, I don't know, like Final Fantasy remake or they're like original Sands of Time, whatever, like that style of like action adventure RPG, then I was like, this story would probably be amazing. But I'm looking forward to this game, actually. Like, I think the 2.5D, like Castlevania platformer kind of situation, I don't mind that. I think it's really dope what they're doing with the animations and the battle style too. So I'm okay, cool.
I agree. All I know is this time next week, we're going to have a whole lot of stuff to. We may not even talk about games that are releasing. I mean, we got Microsoft and Microsoft Bethesda, Capcom, Ubisoft's Direct's coming out. And there's someone else who has, and that's all between today's Thursday with time recording, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. At least 4 or 5 different shows.
Yes, man.
It's gonna be a
Game fest, right? I'm gonna try to go next year. I was looking at tickets to go this year or whatever. I think to like get in the auditorium where they doing all the reveals or whatever. The tickets were only like $75 for.
Oh, it's not bad at all.
It wasn't. It was, and that's on the floor and the little area where everybody sit. But it's way over on the other side of the other side of the continent.
Yeah,
so
exactly.
I was like, all right, we'll see what's going on. But I also saw something, I guess Street Fighter 6, they doing a crossover with another Capcom game.
Yeah, Exo Primal. I was like, that got me excited. That got me hyped.
Because I'm like, okay, we just had all this great conversation about Street Fighter 6 and how dope it's gonna be or whatever. So Capcom coming in and being like, you know what, let's turn it a little bit more on its head or whatever and do like some cool mashups. What I'm really, really excited about that for some reason. I think it's a good move. A smart idea. I think it'll definitely like shake the whole fighting genre up.
Just seeing Ryu Dragon Punch a T-Rex was like
right. I just look fun.
I am loving what Capcom is doing. We talked about this last week too.
Yeah.
I don't know what everybody else is doing, but Capcom is just running on all cylinders. Like,
and I'm happy about it.
Oh,
I'm happy about it. I hope that they find a way to convince Disney and Marvel to come to the table and give us another Marvel vs. Capcom.
We only need that. We just need remasters of the originals.
Or they could just do what they doing with the Exo Primal thing. Just throw them in the game. Like just make it a thing. Because that would be great.
That'd be awesome. Well, let's get to these games this week because next week we may not even talk about games. But first up, we have arguably, hands down, the biggest release this week, Diablo 4. And that's pretty much on everything except for the Switch. Which no, I'm not surprised. Activision is Blizzard. Okay. That will change once Microsoft gets them, but as of right now, they don't care about the Switch. So RPG, look, if you don't know what Diablo is at this point in time, you've been living under a rock since 1997. Like, pretty much.
Even now I know. I have not played not one Diablo
Same title. Here, but I know what it is. So in this case, set in the Diablo series world of Sanctuary, Diablo 4 takes place following the aftermath of Diablo 3, Reaper of Souls. Cultists have summoned the main antagonist and daughter of Mephisto, Lilith. After the events of previous games, the forces of demons and angels have been depleted, allowing an opening for her to establish power in Sanctuary. And of course, we're watching the trailer for this. Yeah,
which I don't know. Something about, obviously, there's been a lot of Diablo coverage. I don't know. I'm finding myself eyeing this game. I don't know if it'll actually lead to me purchasing and playing, but I love Blizzard. They do a good job with games to me, and I don't know. something about this franchise is like slowly pulling me in. So we'll see what happens. But
I feel you. I am. There are when I was on YouTube yesterday. I was watching a channel talk about Diablo clones or Diablo inspired games going back all the way to 1998, after the year after they released the original, and I never realized how Diablo really invented that sort of isometric dungeon crawling RPG. I didn't realize that. And just to think that so many games use those mechanics, like that's one of the ways they reinvented Gauntlet back in these for the arcades and also Dreamcast and PS2 and Xbox One era. So I was like, okay, I've never played it before, but I played games like it. And even though Gauntlet's not that as serious as an RPG as Diablo, it did that Dark Legacy game did take the mechanics and style of that action hack and slash platformer. And then another game I played, Torchlight, as well, has that similar sort of Diablo sort of feel. Not quite as enemy intensive, but still that same sort of view. So like I said, I'm not as necessarily as interested, but I am definitely a fan and appreciative of the series.
Yeah, I can always appreciate a game that like sparks something within the industry that has a ripple effect across like generations of games. It can arguably, give some kind of credit like that towards like Final Fantasy, even with the way they kind of do their RPGs and stuff. Like we see so much come from that. I like that though. I like that. I don't feel like the games wouldn't be lasting this long if they didn't do something good like that to like put everybody on attention. So we'll see.
Right, exactly. All right. Next up, we have Harmony: The Fall of Reverie, which is on the Switch and PC. It's an adventure game from Don't Nod Entertainment. Now, this is a game that, well, no, they created the Life is Strange series.
No. I like the name.
Yeah, no, it's a really cool name. They're a French studio. So they created the Life is Strange series. They also did the Tell Me Why sort of Microsoft first party equivalent of Life is Strange. And also, if you're watching this in the month of June, you can get it for free because they give it away, and they gave it away last year as part of Pride Month because one of the main characters of that game is trans.
Okay.
So they give it away. I'm like, couldn't give away a new game this year, but anyway.
Come on now.
Yeah. So, but that's not the game we're talking. We're talking about Harmony: The Fall of Reverie. So I bring those games up because Don't Nod is a studio that is known for a very story-driven game. So in this one, it's an adventure game in the very near future when Polly returns home after a few years abroad to look for a missing mother. She quickly realizes that her hometown has drastically changed. A mega corporation named MK, like MK Ultra, is using its power to control the population, and her community is in danger. Yeah, like MK Ultra. Look up MK Ultra if you all know what we're talking about here. Soon she discovers that she has a gift of clairvoyance that connects her to Reverie, the realm of the aspirations of humanity: glory, bliss, power, chaos, bond, and truth. In this world, Polly becomes Harmony, a goddess who has the power to choose the aspiration that will ultimately rule over Reverie and restore the delicate balance between the deity's world and ours. The fate of humanity is at stake. To which destiny do you aspire?
So we're watching the trailer for this.
Yeah, we're watching all three.
Okay, good. Because I like when games do this. Like, you be in control of the narrative of the story. Like, pick your path. One way could be like this. One way could be like that. Or it's multiple ways in some games. But I'm interested in this. And it's on Switch and PC.
Yes.
Okay, don't not.
I'm surprised.
Yeah.
I'm surprised, but I have a feeling probably end up other places. But let me tell you about our phones and computers. Okay. So I find it very odd. Now, mind you, I know what I watch on TikTok. I do end up watching some gaming stuff, but I have never once had an advertisement for a game on TikTok. Never. Like really? a console game.
Okay.
Typing this up, getting the trailers. The next day, what did I get as an ad on TikTok? An ad for Harmony.
Oh, okay.
I was like,
yeah,
that's strange.
They paid attention.
Yeah, they know everything about us. They know everything about us.
I was like that with Instagram, and then out of the blue one day, like, oh, here's this game coming out. This game coming out. I'm like, okay, I follow PlayStation already. You don't have to put the ads in here.
Exactly.
I saw when they posted this.
Exactly. But, they know everything.
Technology.
Yes. All right. Last up this week is MotoGP 23s on PS5, Xbox Series X, S, and PC. It's racing. It's motorcycle racing from Milestone SRL. Open the throttle, pass your opponents, and cross the finish line. Live your dream of being the next champion with the new MotoGP 23, more amazing and challenging than ever. Compete in 3 official championship categories, MotoGP, Moto2, and Moto3. Step into the shoes of your favorite rider and head to the track to experience the adrenaline of the 2023 season. You're racing motorcycles around the track.
Yeah.
That's pretty much it.
Is it motorcycles or dirt bikes?
Motorcycles. This is MotoGP. You know what? Okay. First up, we got the trailer for MotoGP 23.
Oh, wow! Duel of the century! It's incredible! You can't do that! They're side by side! Unbelievable!
There's always a champ. And a rookie.
Okay, so that'll be you when you play the game.
So it begins.
It looks dope.
It does. And it just made me realize I've never been to like a motorcycle like race like this.
Neither have I.
I'm not like into motorsports like that or whatever, but
same.
I don't know. We have the Daytona 504, the Daytona Speedway here close to me. So every now and then I end up going to a race or whatever. Just I don't know, it's the thing to do sometimes. I don't know why, but
the run effects
are
cool though.
Like motorcycles.
There's only a number 1. MotoGP 23. It could be you.
I always get... Oh, what were you about to say?
No, I was going to say, I always wonder how big of an audience is there for something like this?
I was just about to say, I always like find it... I don't know, I always like freak me out when I see things that I'm not like aware of at all. Because it's like, who's playing this? But then I think about it, I'm like, just because you're not into it don't mean there's not a whole fan base of people that are. So I'm like, oh, this is interesting.
Yeah, I'm sure there are. I just wonder, there are a lot of people that game, let's be real, a lot of people that game play a lot of the same things.
Yeah, yes.
That's definitely why we see the same sort of games and the same franchises always selling.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why I ask, who are the fans that buy this game? Because GP just, it always seems like again, and I will preface this from the standpoint of the United States, it always seems like a very niche sort of thing. I have a feeling this is a lot bigger overseas, Europe, England, well, really Europe, and maybe even Asia and Asian countries. I don't know, but I have a feeling because I don't know, something about motorcycle racing that seems European to me.
Yeah, I could definitely see that. I mean, you think about it, like the most popular brands that like make motor, like you normally hear about
Honda, Ducati.
Like those are not
racing bikes. Ninja
brands.
There's a Ninja, Kawasaki.
Yeah. So I mean, I would say yeah, but then at the same time, I also think about like if you just let your television run ESPN all day, you will see this sport like come across.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. Yep.
Yeah, at some point in time. So anytime I'm like looking at things like this, I'm like, well, if they airing this on if they're airing this on ESPN or Fox or whatever, if they're showing this on television, then there's a large enough fan base because advertising dollars and things like that. Like they want to make money off people viewing, so there has to be somebody watching. It's just I don't ever hear nobody talking about this stuff.
That is very true. I don't think we live in the areas where
it would be popular.
Yeah, I just found out recently it had like high-speed boat racing in Miami up until like the early 80s.
Right.
No, like late 70s. Yeah.
Even what I was saying with the with like the Daytona Speedway or whatever, like I'm not into like Formula One racing or whatever. What do you consider that? NASCAR? I'm not into any of that stuff. But
Daytona, NASCAR. Mm-hmm.
But I've been to a couple races just because, like,
it's there.
Yeah, like, and at some point you like, okay, well, they are racing really, really fast. I've been pressing the gas pedal for quite some time now. Like, let me see what's going on over here. So I don't know. I think with certain sports, they just have such an American like. Something about them is American at core. It's like woven into the fabric of like society. Cause I think about that same thing with baseball. Like, I understand baseball is a huge American sport. Plenty of Americans like it, but it's also like compared to basketball and football, like, and then now soccer's on the rise. It's like, is baseball as popular as we think, or is it just like Americans like familiarity, so they keep attending?
See, I will say this about baseball compared to maybe some of the other sports. Baseball is one of those sports that people go to.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think all the time that people sit and watch baseball games on TV.
Okay.
Whereas the presentation, and this is particularly because of the speed of the game, the presentation for football and basketball are more engaging for television, particularly because of the way the game is played and the speed of the game. Right. Baseball unto itself is a slower game.
Very slow.
So you don't get, it doesn't translate as well. Well, excuse me, the energy, the suspense doesn't always translate as well on television for those sort of things as the excitement, electricity, and sometimes the suspense of basketball and football does on television. At least that's my opinion. Why, maybe it's like it doesn't seem as much, but I mean, baseball is having a banner year as far as attendance. So
yeah, but then see, that just bring us back to the original point of the conversation. Like, what's the suspense with professional motorcycle racing? Because, I mean, yes, if somebody fall, somebody crash, you know what I'm saying? Woo, fireworks, explosions. But then, oftentimes people, they go walk away with injuries or, they lose their lives. We don't want that to happen.
Right.
But it's, on the other hand, it's like, these are professional racers. So there's a high chance that they actually won't fall or make any kind of mistakes that could be fatal. Right. So, like, what's the build up? Like, because all the models, no motorcycles faster than the other. Like, they all top out at a max speed because that's mechanics.
Right.
So it's like, I don't know, but we'll be perplexed the entire show.
Yeah.
Trying to
what though? If you're in the MotoGP, let us know. Let us know.
Yeah, let us know.
Let us know what the excitement is, because we really honestly want to know.
Yeah,
definitely.
As individuals who appreciate gaming and competitiveness, like on a full spectrum, like around the board, I want to know. Because there's a point in my life where I was very interested in motocross, but that was because, like, this guy that has a little bit of, can you pedal faster than the other person? Can you stick your jumps and your landings and all that stuff?
Right.
But yeah, comments, please, because I'm interested.
Let us know. All right. Next up, we have Harmony, the Fall of Reverie.
Don't nod.
In our newest narrative adventure, the fate of humanity is yours to decide.
No pressure.
You play as Polly, a young woman returning home to look for her missing mother. She soon discovers she has the gift of clairvoyance that connects her to a vibrant new world, Reverie, where she becomes Harmony.
Okay, I could do Harmony.
With the help of 6 ancient beings known as aspirations, she will decide the destiny of her community. You will need to make critical choices that might affect the balance between both worlds. Using the augural, a representation of Polly's decisions and outcomes throughout time.
It's not every day you wake up in a new dimension.
Who are you? I'm Polly.
Actually, you're Harmony for us over here.
Here, you will get to move from scene to scene, see into the future, and open new paths.
This is interesting.
While some nodes will be hidden, evolving in the narrative will enable you to partially reveal what the future brings. You won't be alone in your quest, as Polly makes allies both in her world and in Reverie. Aspirations thrive on the crystals that Polly collects from making decisions. Use them wisely to climb step by step towards the future you want. One aspiration will ultimately become the new heart of humanity. Which one will you favor? Polly holds the fate of both worlds in her hands. Will you plan for the future, or will you follow your instincts?
Okay, so it's coming out later in the month for the other systems. Okay.
Yeah.
That looks ingenious and so unique.
It does. It does. It seems like a really, really, I mean, you can make your own story, but it really, I don't know, the characters, they're really compelling. I want to understand, like, because obviously these, what do they call them? The
aspirations?
Yeah, the aspirations, they represent something like, I don't know. The girl was eating a lot, so I felt gluttony there a little bit, but then.
Yeah, humanity, glory, bliss, power, chaos, bond, and truth.
Okay. And then based on which one you decide to like lean more towards, that will decide how humanity on both sides of the coin.
Right.
Interesting.
I'm interested in this game, definitely.
Me too. My only thing is, it just like reading and listening to, like, I don't get to hit nothing or blow nothing up or shoot nothing or block, run, tumble.
No. It's probably maybe some exploration. This is just only on my experience with playing Tell Me More and even my knowledge of Life is Strange. If it's anywhere similar to those, I'm assuming there's some sort of interactive world as well. But it may not be. It may just be the quote unquote visual adventure novel story, so to speak. But this is, I will say, just based on this trailer, it is very inventive.
Yeah, I agree.
It really subverts, in my opinion, a lot of the traditional ways that these sort of games have been done in the past few years.
Okay. Yeah, I'm definitely interested. It looks, I just want to see how the story ends. Well, the story gonna end however I decide for it to end.
Exactly.
I want to play it. I want to play it.
Same here.
Down too.
Same here. All right. So last but not least, obviously, we have Diablo 4.
Which I'm pretty sure everybody watching has seen this trailer.
Your lives
wait till the world is mine.
Depend on what you do next.
So for these ocean eyes,
choose wisely.
You should see me in the crowd. I'm gonna run this nothing town.
I mean, this is awesome.
It does. And see, that's what's been like ripping me up about it as of late. Because I've never, well, I can't say that. What's the other game? Smite? I never really got into the games with this overhead kind of play style view or whatever. I like the action that is pretty cool. I know you can create a character and choose your own weapon class or character class.
That looks sick.
You should see me in the crowd.
Yeah. And then it's also like you could co-op on this game as well. Like I don't know, man. They Diablo they might. I don't know. We'll see.
You know what though? What I'm happy about is that this game is reviewing well.
Yeah.
And the fact that not only that, the fan base seems to be really happy too, because when I understand, people were pissed at Diablo 3.
Yeah, from what
Diablo,
I gathered.
From what I understand, Diablo 3 was pretty much a microtransaction cash grab.
Mm-hmm.
So
that's what I heard.
Yeah, so I'm happy. When we have these sort of successes with these major releases, I think that bodes well for gaming in general. Personally speaking,
I agree. Yeah.
So, all right, well, ladies and gentlemen, that's it for the week. Just 3 games. Brian, what's going on with you this week?
So I haven't put out an episode for the pod quite some time now. It's going, a couple weeks, but never fret. I should return. I'm working on a new episode. I saw Across the Spider-Verse, so we definitely going to be talking about that. Definitely going to be talking about that. My thoughts on the Summer Game Fest when I finish, the trailers I'm interested in. What else? A lot of new music has been coming out lately, so we'll discuss that. Yeah, so I got some stuff to talk about. So, new episode coming in the coming days. What about yourself?
Whoa, 150 is still coming. I'm working on it. I figure that's the official start of season 3. However, since the last time we met, I've dropped my review of Star Trek Resurgence. I've done an unboxing of Basil and Sage's Juneteenth themed subscription box for this month. I've interviewed Liz Revamped and also done a review of Goodman Cologne from the Fragrance Bar, as well as done an interview with B. York. And by the time this video drops, I also have an interview with the creators from Avalon Comics all over on WebsterStyle magazine over on YouTube.
Okay. Very, very excited to check those out. Sound very interesting.
Thank you. And of course, you're currently with Nerds Rule the World. Make sure you follow us on Twitter at the NRW, on Instagram at News Release Wednesday. And of course, you're currently on YouTube. So make sure you like, share, and subscribe.
Thanks.